Hi, this is Sarah Simmons from NBC The Voice, and you're listening to Dispatch Radio.
You might know him from The Voice. He has a brand new single that we're going to talk about. His name is Brandon Chase. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, we're so blessed, so thankful you could join us, and I want to get right to it because folks probably know you and remember you from The Voice, and I want to talk about that. But the big news right now is your new single, the debut single called One. Tell everybody a little bit about the song, what inspired it, and kind of what the backstory is.
Yeah, so this song is basically just about kind of a pre-relationship song, just kind of talking to that other significant other, just saying, give me a chance. Let me show you and prove to you that I can be good for you, kind of thing. And it's fun, it's catchy, it's up tempo, and it's fun.
Well, it's fantastic news, and of course you were on season 5 of The Voice, and everybody remembers you, and the amazing blind audition performance of Wanted. Before you went out on stage, tell everybody a little bit about what's going through your mind before you go out there.
Oh man, there's so much pressure and tension, and you want to do well, you want to make a team, and it's stressful. But just right before I went on stage, I just had to keep reminding myself why I was there, and just keep reminding myself that God had me, and no matter what happened, it was how it was supposed to be. And ultimately, I wasn't in control of it. The coaches weren't in control of it. Nobody was in control of it except God. And just had to pray my way through it. And he totally, right at the right moment, he calmed my nerves and just allowed me to just do my thing.
The funny thing about the show like The Voice, which I would love asking this, is so you're sitting there and you're doing your thing. I'd have to watch the video again to see if you sing with your eyes open or your eyes closed. But Blake spins around in the chair. How do you keep going, man? If you see this, you just gotta want to just start cheering. You gotta be like, thank goodness, thank you, Lord.
Yeah, man. I think my eyes were open, but at the same time, I wasn't I was so just not even there. Like I didn't even know what was happening, what was going on. I just kind of faintly remember oh my gosh, Blake turned around. No matter what happens with the rest of the song, I made a team. I'm on the show. This is crazy,
It's fantastic. And it really is a great video. We're going to link to that on YouTube if people can relive that or catch it for the first time if they haven't seen it yet. And so Brandon Chase continues on. And did you have a lot of input on the other songs that you were able to sing, or how does behind the scenes at Voice?
Just cut out a little bit.
Oh, okay. As you move forward on the show now and you have other songs to sing, do you get a little input in that? Do they have a library that you select from? Tell everybody a little bit about what happens behind the scenes.
As far as picking the next song for
right.
The Voice,
right?
Yeah, they kind of gave us a list, and it was just choose 5 songs from this list, and then out of your 5 songs, we'll tell you what you're gonna sing.
Okay.
So we kind of had control over it a little bit. Our options were limited, and then obviously they made the final decision.
Gotcha. The one thing about your story, and I'm just going to turn it over to you to kind of give everybody a little bit of a summary if they hadn't heard or seen this, and that is your amazing testimony to God. You've basically been dead, my brother, and are here to talk about it. And it is a miraculous story that I'd love for you to be able to share with our listeners and our readers.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just a couple of days after I was born, I started bleeding internally, and that led me to stop breathing 64 times in a 12-hour period. And the doctors basically told my parents, you should probably prepare yourself for the worst, because that lack of oxygen, he could easily and will most likely be blind, deaf, mentally impaired, or all 3 of those things. And, instantly, that's not something a new mom and dad want to hear, of course. And, my grandfather was a minister, and my mom said right away she called her dad, and they both stood in agreement together that they weren't going to receive the news that the doctors told. They didn't accept it, and they just weren't going to have it. And so they just started praying and praying, and you know, God came down and he touched me, and you know it's God, because he didn't just say, okay, well, you know, I'm gonna just kind of wipe this whole thing clear and just make it normal. And he said, I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna prove my power by allowing him to do something with his life that is gonna truly stand for something and truly be a witness for my name. So, you know, I've lived an incredible life. I'm so blessed to live, and graduated high school at 15 and college at 17, and I was always one of the top of my class. And you know, that's not for me to brag on my end. That's for me to brag on God, because it's all Him. It's not me at all.
So what you're saying is you didn't need that oxygen that you lost out on those few minutes there. You were good to go. God took care of the rest.
Right. I mean, I believe he came down and just filled that lack of oxygen and put a little extra in there.
That's it. It's an amazing story, and it's an amazing test. So you graduated high school at 15, graduates college. What did you get your degree in in school?
I got my degree in songwriting from Berkeley College of Music.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So, and now you've got your first debut single coming out, and
well, it's out now.
Yeah, it came out 2 days ago.
2 days ago, yeah.
Yeah, 2 days ago. Got that out there. And when you look back, I mean, do you look back at your church worship days? I mean, how do you sort of like, wow, man, what a wild ride that I've gotten myself in the middle of here?
Yeah, totally. You know, I love telling that story of how I got into music. You know, it's through my church youth group, and prior to that, I had no music background whatsoever. Didn't know anything about music. Didn't play an instrument. Didn't sing. But there was auditions for my youth worship team, and I just felt like it was what I was supposed to do. I felt like I was called to do that. I had no idea why, but I heard God speaking that to me, and I just stepped out in obedience and did it. And you know, just looking back, it's amazing how that one step of obedience turned into the greatest passion of my life, and ultimately my calling that I stepped into from that day, and just all the doors that have opened up since. It's been really amazing.
So if we pull the curtain back a little bit, what does Brandon Chase listen to? You know, if we stole your iPod or your MP3, whatever you got going on, what are we going to find?
Oh man, you find a little bit of everything. You know, I definitely have a lot of country music on my iPod. Definitely gotta, you know, continue to stay up to date with what everybody's doing and listening to what everybody's responding to in country music. And of course, I have, you know, worship playlists. I'm still a worship leader, and I do that, and you know, listen to new worship music and old stuff that, you know, I grew up on, and I have a lot of stuff like U2 and Coldplay. So just a bunch of everything. John Mayer, a lot of singer-songwriters. You name it, I got it.
With an experience like The Voice, and you get an opportunity, obviously, to meet the people there and the judges and the coaches and all that, what was one of the coolest things about that entire experience?
You know, just the whole experience obviously was just incredible. I guess the most memorable thing for me was when Blake came back to the room to meet my family right after my blind audition. You know, that was the first time he had ever done that in the history of the show, and you know, it was a really special moment. Obviously, just made the team on The Voice, but it made it extra special when he came back to meet my family, and it just kind of reassured us that, you know, we did the right thing, and that's where God had called me to at that season.
So is your mom and dad like bawling at that point? Because I know I would be.
Me and my mom were bawling, actually. I lost it. As soon as I walked off the stage, I lost it.
I don't even know how you could keep a composure at that point. I mean, you've made the team, you do all that. Next thing you know, Blake's walking in the room. You're like, what on earth? I mean, I can imagine.
I was crying like a baby.
Behind the scenes with Brandon Chase.
Hey, I'll admit it, man. It's an emotional thing, you know. It was just really just me being overwhelmed of what God was doing in my life, and that's like the one thing that'll make me cry any day of the week.
Well, I'm great to hear about this new song, the one. Just it's called One. Sorry, I don't want to mislead people trying to Google it up, man. One. What else is coming, man? What do we got coming? We got a whole album coming out of this. We got like 5 more. So what we got coming?
Yeah. We're working on the full length album right now. It's about 1/3 finished. And man, we're really excited. It's gonna be my first debut album, full length, full band, and everything. And you know what I put out recently, my latest EP, Country Enough. That was just kind of setting the scene, setting the stage for me, and just kind of getting something out for people to hear. And this new project is really my sound and really what I want to be ultimately as an artist. So really excited about it.
I want to give out all the links here. We have a Facebook page, of course. He links to that at / Brandon Chase Music. That's how his Instagram is set up as well, Brandon Chase Music. Now, if you follow Twitter, it's at Brandon J Chase. Got to add a J in there, but there's other people trying to, Brandon Chase. Maybe you get talking to the wrong cat, so you want to do that. So follow that. Are you big into all this social media stuff, man? Are we gonna get like 67 tweets a day or something? Some Instagram photos. What do you into all the social media stuff?
Oh yeah, man. Social media is like one of my part-time jobs. Well, almost a full-time job. I'm on it all the time, and I love connecting with my fans, and I think it's really important. And I love hearing people's feedback through social media. It's great.
That's fantastic. We're going to link to that, folks, so you can get the hyperlinks there. Makes it a little bit easier for you to make sure you like and follow him and all that, and keep up with this the song. One, as well as an album coming pretty soon. So it's very exciting times. Brandon, I thank you so much for your time. Thank you for fitting us in.
Hey, I appreciate it. Anytime.